Hello, I'm here at the red carpet, Blood versus Water, AfterBuzz TV with the big scoop, because we all need to know the answer to one question. Monica Culpepper, what was the white elephant in the room?
Yeah, right when the final tribal started, I said, let's go ahead and talk about the pink elephant in the room.
Pink, not white.
Yeah, it was the pink. And I said, listen, the position that Brad and I are in life is weighing on every single one of you. It's Brad's football career, it's Brad's law career, and this is my time. And I want this, and this is for me. And so take all that out of it and don't make your judgment on that, because it's not his time, it's mine.
So the pink elephant was like the financial side of your life outside of Survivor? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like that was just resonating through the whole time. And obviously that kind of stuff doesn't make the show. And obviously that stuff gets edited out. And I thought, let's just address it. And let's just say, let's say the things that are not yours and try to just bring it up, and that maybe we can get past that afterwards.
I understand that completely, because I know people make a lot of judgments while they're in the game, and they seem to think that people who have great jobs are at home rolling around in money, burning it, hanging out laughing. And it's whether or not that's true, it has nothing to do with the game of Survivor.
Correct.
And that, honestly, I think that's very smart to play into the jury, to let them know, don't let that sway your vote. Like, really look at the play that was done. And you answered the questions at Tribal with such grace, and at the same time with a good sense of truth and honesty. And I love the fact that you made people answer for what their judgment was about you.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm a mom. You try to set an example. And I said to myself when I played, I would never jeopardize my integrity. And it's the most brutal game under the harshest conditions. And a lot of times I think people's true colors came out. And I was personally attacked by everyone. And it wasn't just...
You were. And it was hard to watch sometimes.
It was hard to be there. I felt so alone and just on an island. And I just kept saying, okay, you can't quit. I mean, that's not even in my vocabulary. I don't even know what that means. You've got to stay and fight. Fight for women, fight for your kids, fight for Brad. And I just, the terms, everybody would say, you're paranoid. And I'm thinking, paranoid is such a negative word. How about cautious? Cautious would be it. And it was working for me. I bet everybody in line behind me wishes they were a little more cautious. But when you were blindsided like I was on One World, you've got to be paranoid when you play. It's Survivor. And
people forget that. They forget that you had a history, and you didn't want the same thing to happen to you again.
No, and the stakes were even higher. I mean, we've got 3 teenage kids that we left because Brad and I were both gone. And I felt like I owed it to everyone that pitched in, both sets of grandparents, aunts, uncles, and everybody, to get to the end, whatever it took. And there's so many questions like, why didn't you go with Hayden and Sierra? It's a no-brainer why I didn't. I'm number 4 with them, potentially number 5, because I switch right now. Now, I've made the biggest move in the game. I've won 3 individual immunities. They're going to get rid of me next. So potentially I could be 5th out or 4th out. And I genuinely wanted to go to the end with 2 people that
you had a shot at.
That I had a shot at. And, I was kind of...
It's hard to imagine sitting next to Hayden for anybody. I mean, he's such a likable guy.
Here's the deal. I go with them, and he says, yep, Monica's Tyson's lap dog, and now she's mine. He was Mr. Congeniality out there. And I make that move. Monica doesn't get the credit. Hayden does for getting her to switch. And so I just was grinding, and I kept saying in my mind, you got to be in it to win it. Stick with the guys, drag the gangsters to the end, and hope you have that Natalie Russell situation where they're so mad at Russell that they vote for you. And what they did cut out is I said, here's your chance, Jerri. You've yelled at me the whole game to make a move. Make your move. How mad are you at Tyson?
You said that?
Make your move. Yeah, and so
that was so great. Why'd they cut that out?
I mean, editing, so much is out. Make your move, and I don't know what it is. It was so hard out there, Jerri. So hard, so hard.
I know, and I've actually felt very alone on Survivor myself, and that's something that it's hard for viewers to really understand. Like, how could you be alone? You're living with people 24/7, but. When
everyone had someone. Tyson and Jervis were together. Caleb and Hayden were together. The 2 mother pairs were together. And then there's Monica, you're on a loved one season, but I'm the lonely heart. And it's like, yeah, I trust Tyson and Jervis, but Tyson's snarky.
It's survivor trust.
Yeah, no, but look at his personality. He's really hard to read. And so I'm like, I think he's with me. And that's my whole point of, are you sure? Like, tell me you're sure, because you just don't know with him. You've had a conversation with him. You watched how he was playing.
I played with Tyson before in Heroes and Villains, so I do understand completely what you mean. He's very hard to read.
It's so hard to read.
But I just feel like you got put in such a sticky place. Like, everyone was coming at you saying, hey, come with us, you're their lapdog. And you knew that if you switched, then everyone would say you were their lapdog. And either way, I kept going, she's not a lapdog.
No.
She's got a mind of her own. Just let her make her own decision.
And here's the thing.
Without attacking her.
No, wait. And who's calling who a lapdog? To me, I'm in pole position. You're lapping up to me to get my vote. I mean,
totally.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of it is like, well, wait a minute. I mean,
being a swing vote is a really powerful position.
That was great social play to have been so nice and well liked by everyone out there that they kept coming to me to switch, to me to switch, to me to switch has some merit in a final tribal too. They weren't going to Tyson to say, hey, join us. They weren't going to Jervis saying, hey, join us. They were coming to me, and there's some merit in social maneuvering.
Absolutely.
To get to the end, and I did. I mean, the last three, to get to the final tribal council, the last two, I felt pretty good. I wasn't going home.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you, Monica. Honestly, you really did represent women in such a positive light, and moms out there, and I'm very glad that you did what you did when you did it. I thought you played a great game. I really do.
Really, really sweet to say that, and I feel like getting to the final three was such a win for me.
It was.
To get second place was icing on the cake.
You got a vote. Jervis did not.
Yeah, Jervis did not. And you know what? It's kind of full circle. Vetus wasn't willing to draw rocks for Brad, and he changed his vote and wrote down Brad. But yet Vetus redeemed himself to me in the end that he was my one vote. And I don't know that it was out of love for me as much.
Or spite up for Tyson.
or it was of love for Brad. And you know what Vetus said to me as soon as the game ended, and he hugged me and he said, you took it so hard, and you're the toughest, strongest woman who never fought back and became them, and for that you got my vote.
It was a nice thing. It really was.
It was really nice. I'd have liked to got a lot more votes, and but all's well that ends well.
Yes, it is, and I'm so glad that you made it to the end.
Well, thank you. Listen, and there wouldn't be 27, 28, 29 that's going to happen now, 30 that's going to happen if there weren't players like you. And that was another thing of why I didn't want to go with Hayden. I'll be candid with you. I felt like it would disrespect past Survivor players to let somebody that won Big Brother come in and win this game.
Wow.
No way. No way. I mean, why would we let someone have that moniker? Yeah, I won Big Brother in Survivor. I mean, what we go through on Survivor is not easy.
He knows that now.
Yeah, and the path that you all carved to make it be around seasons later for someone like me to play, I'm not disrespecting you guys. You're my family, and no Big Brother. I mean, I heard what Jervis said in that tribal, and I'm like, you're right, Jerv. He's not winning. If we have anything to do with it.
Old school, baby, old school.
And I love Hayden personally. He and Kat have come and stayed and been guests at our house for about 8 days on 2 different times, and we adore them. And you just have to get over the hurt feelings and the things people say.
You do.
And
it is hard sometimes.
To everyone, it's just a game. But it got so personal for people out there, and I was thinking, this is just a game. Yeah. A brutal, harsh game, but it's just
horrible.
It is. It is. Well, here's a question. Would you ever do it again?
Yes, I would. I probably would. It's one of the most unique experiences you could ever ask for, and you might win $1 million.
Yeah. Okay, well, when you go back and play again and you're gone, I'll take over your position and do the interviews while you're in there, because I'm retired. I'm passing my torch on to somebody else or to Brad. So.
All right, well, later on we'll talk about your workout regimen, because I want to know what that's all about.